Hey everybody, Lil Herc here, and I got another great video for you guys today on the Infinity Blade 2 update. Now, before we begin, I want to show you something that is actually kind of disappointing. It's a bug I found in Infinity Blade 2 with the newest update, and it's so in the new Skycage area, there's one guy that I'm going to show you today that you battle, and you can decide if he lives or dies, and there he is there after you accept him to live. But I'd already let him live before in an earlier stage of the game, and he gave me this cool award when I did. But when I did it a second time and let him free, it got stuck like this, and I tried for literally 30 minutes looking for a way to fix it, and it just didn't fix it. So I finally decided I had to do a rebirth to the first rebirth, which really sucked. But yeah, so just want to share that. So if you let this guy go free one time, don't do it again. Once you get the stuff from him, make sure you kill him if you ever battle him again, or else it's just gonna bug out and you're gonna have to go to the first rebirth again, and it really sucks being at that level because you get no gold at all. Alright, now back to today's video. Today is solely about the new enemies in Infinity Blade 2 Skycage update. And so, as I believe, there's 5 new enemies, and I'll be showing you each of them. All of them unique, all of them pretty cool. I'll get into why each has its different little tweaks. So, I hope you guys are going to enjoy this video, and if you do, please comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. Alright, now, for the first enemy, or first new enemy, the Headsman, he is probably the first person you're going to battle that's new in the new Infinity Blade update, and that is because he's the first person you run into in the new Skycages area, which is the main gist of this new update. And so, to begin with, he was a pretty fun character to fight with. First off, I think he looks awesome. He looks really cool. One thing I noticed, which I thought was pretty funny and cool at the same time, was the weapon he's holding. It's a axe, right? Because he's a headsman, of course, and that's his name. But this axe you can actually get, and it's in this room if you get the map called Bloody Map, and on another video I made about the maps, you can actually watch exactly where the map is and how to get and all that good stuff. But you can actually get this weapon called the Stump Maker, which is an amazing name for a axe, very creative. And so yeah, it's a heavy weapon, it's pretty cool, and I just thought it was cool that they kind of put it together that the weapon is where this guy is standing at the beginning when you meet him, which I thought was a good idea, a good way to go. And so yeah, fun guy, a pretty original look. I mean, I haven't seen any other characters that look kind of like this, so that's good. They're stepping up their game, making sure they don't have a bunch of remodeled same characters. He kind of fought the same as most single welding creatures. I mean, most of the creatures fight the same way. The big difference is between the wretches and the regulars, Aegis form warriors. Alright, so yeah, that's it for him, and on to the next. Alright, now this guy is kind of interesting for a couple reasons. One, I'm not exactly sure what his name is, because they don't specify what the names of the guys in the cages are. You kind of have to figure it out for yourself. But looking and kind of figuring what all the other creatures are called, I believe this is Xyloto, which is Xyloto, and as far as I can tell, that's what he's called. And so for this guy, he is the cage on the far right in the Skycage room. He, to be able to fight him, you have to own and equip the Widow's Shriek, which is the 600,000 gold heavy weapon, the two-handed weapons. And so I actually suck at heavy weapons, as you might be noticing as I'm fighting. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the heavy weapons. I think they're cool with how much power they deal, but not really that big of a fan. Otherwise, this character actually, I think, has one of the cooler weapons I've seen for the enemies, and that's because he's got like these sickles kind of holding under his on the bottom of his grip, which is really cool looking when he's fighting. plus I think he's actually kind of an original look for just the armor and all. And I don't know, I think this is another great look for a new character, not another makeover or anything like that. All brand new stuff. I'm sure they made it from scratch, which is pretty cool. So yeah, another job well done by Epic Games, the creators of the Infinity Blade 2 game, and 1 of course. So yeah, I'm gonna go on to the next guy now. Alright, now this guy I have a lot to say, so I'm gonna try and say it fast. First off, he is actually, his model at least, the skin cover, what you see, is actually a stone warrior that we fought in previous Infinity Blade 2 updates and even the original Infinity Blade 2. The thing is, this guy is actually a specific character called Torin. Oh, sorry if that made a weird sound. His name is Torin. And he's kind of cool. He actually has one of the most diverse battles in all the games that I've seen. And it's because at the end, you have a choice. You're going to defeat him, and he's going to be laying on the ground, and you have the choice to either kill him or to release him. And as I showed at the beginning of the video, if you release him 2 times in a row, it just bugs your system. So definitely don't do that. But if you release him the first time and you haven't released him before, definitely do it, because he adds to the storyline later in the game and actually gives you a special weapon, which is actually how I know his name. It doesn't ever show his name anywhere except for on this weapon that he gives you, which is a really fun weapon to play around with. And it's also a weapon that you see in the new Infinity Blade Dungeons trailer, which is actually really cool because he mentions stuff that hints to Infinity Blade Dungeons. So I think that's really cool. So yeah, he actually is really tough opponent to fight. As you can see, I actually almost get killed in this battle, I believe. I usually have to use a health regeneration, but because he was such a low level, because I'm replaying from Rebirth 1, he was easy enough to take down. But if I was like maybe 20 rebirths in, he would be really hard to fight, and I would need healing potions. I forget what they're called already. But yeah, so another good guy. The one thing I wish they had changed is his look. They actually call him a stone warrior, and I've fought in them before, and just because they made him an actual character and not just some random person to fight, didn't really change it. I really wish they had made a new look for him, but they didn't, and that's their choice. Maybe it just was not too much trouble for them to make a new model for this guy. But as you can see, I just saved him, and this actually is what made my app kind of mess up, and I had to restart from Rebirth 1. So yeah, now